Greetings and thanks for dropping by for the latest edition of Mentor Mike's Market Movie. Today is Friday, May the 4th, 2012. And before we get started, a couple quick announcements. First, I'll be giving a new live webinar tomorrow, Saturday, at 9 a.m. Pacific Time. We're going to be using the facilities at GoToWebinar, and I'll see if I can't chase down the link for you to register and put it in the written portion of tonight's video blog for those of you who aren't already signed up. Also, you can see here that I have marked the last two confirmed turning points. We have made a new high here, but we don't know if it is the high just yet. So until the price comes down and touches the lower Dachshund channel, we won't have a confirmation. Also, there's something else. Today at 5:30 a.m. Pacific Time, there was the unemployment rate report. And that's been kind of a hot button issue for quite some time now. Unemployment is, of course, a major metric in gauging the strength or lack thereof in the economic recovery, and it's become all more important because this is an election year, and the economy, of course, is a major issue for both party candidates. So when you have something like that, you want to be extra cautious because you never really know what that report's going to say and whether it's going to be in line with what the pundits have predicted. And that's the kind of thing that can spook the market. Under other times when the economy has not been in as much flux, something like the unemployment rate would barely raise a ripple. But now it could do some serious damage. So if you're not already doing it, you want to find a good source on the internet for economic reports and check them each day so you at least know what's coming down the pike before you start day trading in the pre-market. All right, that said, let's get started. Okay, 10 clicks puts us 50 times normal speed. Okay, the price activity is above our red moving average, which has a bit of an upward slope. We're some distance away from a bullish cross on the MACD, but we do have the stochastic turning around, and we do want to get a jump on these entries. So let's get long, and we'll start the arrow, and away we go. Well, we were obviously not through dropping yet. Okay, I was pausing it to move the stop in case it didn't move on its own, but it did. So, as long as I'm here, Let me stretch our arrow to the appropriate length and start up again. We're approaching 5:30, which is report time. And we haven't been stopped out yet, but the parabolic has flipped. So we'll let it play out. There we go, and boom. As you can see, that was quite a little zigzag. And luckily we were stopped out with a small profit, a minimal profit. And that kind of sets the tone for the rest of the day. Even though we had a rebound to the upside, the market is turning around and heading lower. And so let's look for an opportunity to get on board. Okay, we now have a bearish parabolic. Now, our faster stochastic is breaking below the 50% level, and the longer term is doing likewise. Our MACD is already below the zero line on its scale, and given the drop that we see here after the reactive bounce, I would say there's a pretty good chance that this low is going to be at least equal, if not exceeded. And so let's get on board before this thing goes any further. We also have two confirmed turning points, this one and that one. In fact, let me pause the data and mark those before we go any further. There's that, and there's that. This one here came after the low, and as I said earlier, this one will not be confirmed until we hit the lower Donchian channel, so we'll see how long that takes. Now, given the fact that the parabolic is so far above, we're going to have to look for other ways of getting us into subsequent trades. If this turns into a unidirectional day, and of course we know that it did turn into that, we're going to have a situation where the stochastic may actually stay under the 50% level most of the day, because the price is going to be staying under the white moving average. So one thing we can do under these circumstances is to drop down to the lowest time frame, which would be the 1 minute chart. Now normally the 1 minute chart is excessively busy, but in situations like this, that extra detail can be helpful because we might not see that detail on the 2 minute chart. So let's start up again and we'll see what happens. Okay, now we flipped the parabolic and our stochastic immediately went bearish. So let's get short and start up again. Well, that was a quick one. Ah, it's dropping again. So let's start another arrow and get short yet again. All right, we've got the parabolic changing again, and our stochastic is starting to drop, but at the last minute it kind of started rising again, but let's take a chance. You can really rack up some nice points on these unidirectional days, provided you can find the signals to get yourself in the trades. Now, notice we just made a new low. We didn't flip the parabolic, but we did get a move on the stochastic. So let's take another trade here. Chances are we'll at least hit the first target. And as soon as we touched the lower Donchian channel, that confirmed this high. So now we're just waiting to see where the next low is going to end up being. So short again. And there we go. All right, now we're breaking above the 50% level on the stochastic for the first time in a while, and we've got what appears to be a little bit of divergence. Now, didn't really see that going into it, so I wasn't prepared. But if this thing takes a dip down, we might get long because there might be enough room left in this corrective move for something on the upside. So let's see. Well, let's go ahead and short this. We know that we're clearly in a downtrend. We may be close enough to the red moving average to take care of business here. We'll see. Well, we should have gotten short again when we got the MACD crossover, but I was kind of asleep at the switch here, so We'll look for more opportunities. This is one long parabolic for a 1 minute chart. Now notice our longer term stochastic is starting to curve up a little bit, and we have some definite divergence here. So is this the bottom, or are we just looking at another corrective move? Well, let's take a shot on the upside and see if we get enough movement to at least hit the first target. Okay, I closed that one because I didn't know what we're going to be looking at here. We're now heading lower again, so let's go short and down and start again. Okay. All right, we have another possible bottom here, more divergence. Looks like both Stokes are trying to head up. Let's take a shot on the long side and just see. Actually have to trail the stop. Okay. Stopped out. And we're heading lower again. Hard to tell what that white moving average is going to do, but we've got some real curvature here, and certainly on the stochastic as well. So we'll get short. Mark the arrow. Notice how the faster stochastic has stayed under the longer one the whole time here. It's a modestly bearish sign. Oh, brother, this is one sideways mess. But we're starting to break below the 50% here, so maybe this thing will head lower. Finally. Okay, stopped out. Let's pause it at that point. Well, that was one nerve-wracking almost 2 hours, wasn't it? But we finally made it by hanging on. Okay, what do we got going on now? Well, we're breaking to the upside. After divergence, we're now a little lower, it looks like, but we're breaking to the upside, and this time we've got actually some help from the long-term moving average as well as the MACD. So let's get long. Okay. Well, we've got the MACD and the longer term Stoke looking like they want to curve. The shorter term is already breaking below 50%. We've been in essentially a downtrend all day. Oh, what the heck? Let's go on the short side. Uh-oh, we're turning back the other way. Now, let's not panic here. We've got strong resistance in the form of that long-term moving average, and it's holding us back, and we've just flipped the parabolic, and sure enough, there we go. Okay, one more double target. And we're after 1 o'clock in the afternoon on the replay clock, so chances are we're pretty much done for the day here. In fact, that's it. So we got exactly 1,500 bucks, and let's count the trades. Now, in order to do this, let's go back to the 2-minute chart. Now, all these trades that we took in here, notice that there were virtually no signals for us to use. No parabolic and essentially no stochastic. We caught this one. We had a parabolic and a stochastic here, and we had one here. And then we had this lower one here. And but other than that, we took a lot of additional trades that we wouldn't have had otherwise. And it looks like, in terms of turning points, that we confirmed this one and this one. This one is still an open question. So getting back to where we were, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 14 and 0 and $1,500. Again, we're pretty much in the ballpark as usual for our 3 contracts. Now, come on by and see us tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time for the latest webinar. You'll learn some more tips and tricks about how to understand what it is that we do here on the Market Movie. And the webinar will be recorded, and I'll have a video link for you probably in Monday and Tuesday's video blog as well. So everybody have a nice weekend, and we'll see you either tomorrow or on Monday. Thank you very much.